you start to learn English?
Yeah, I learn English. I have learned English for
Yes.
a time. Yeah, maybe I were in a school. Yeah,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
uh, but writing, listening, or reading is okay. But our English is uh, need to improve. Yeah,
Yes.
maybe I need language environment. Um,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah, practice with a foreigner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's excellent. And and your main reason for wanting to improve your English, is it for professional reasons, your job, your work? Is it for traveling, tourism, or is it a personal interest of yours, Eugene?
My purpose of learning English is
Yes.
about working. Yeah,
Ah,
maybe. Yeah, maybe I want to communicate with a foreigner to do
hmm,
business. Yes.
right. Well, that's good. That's excellent. And what do you most want to improve with your English, Eugene? Is it your grammar, your vocabulary, your pronunciation, or your speaking?
Um, and sometimes I thought about that. I think it's important. I am more focused on speaking,
Right. Mm-hmm.
because I know some vocabulary, a
Mm-hmm.
phrase, but
Yes.
maybe um, um, I know this in my mind, but
Yes.
I don't use it and then frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in uh, about speaking it. And so I need to practice them with
Yes.
other foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think so.
Right, that's good. And did you have the opportunity to watch my presentation video on my italki profile page where I explain my uh, teaching method, Eugene?
Um, Method.
Method, that means my technique, my procedure, my way of teaching. Did you see my presentation video explaining that on the italki, on my italki profile page?
Oh, okay, okay. I see.
You saw
Yeah.
it. That's good. Excellent. And what did you think of it? How did you find it? What was your impression of it, Eugene?
Maybe it's fortunately to discover the tools. Yeah, I looked down, browse the app store,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I mm, I found it according of the
Mm-hmm.
rate retail.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe it's lucky. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good that you liked it. Now, how familiar? Oh, yes. Oh, by the way, you saw that I teach. Then my main teaching method was biblical English. How familiar are you with the Bible, Eugene? Have you read the Bible before? Are you familiar with the Bible?
No, maybe I learn a little, yeah, about the Bible. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I
Just.
think it's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting. Some prayer in China and believe
Yes.
in the, yeah,
Oh.
and yeah, mm, and some there um, is a previous uh, in the Christmas days.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe someone learned that from the festivals, from some um, tales,
Yes.
stories, maybe uh, mm, yeah.
Well,
I,
that's good. That's very good, Eugene. So it's just for your information so that you know that as well as English joke humor, which is the lesson that you chose for today, that there are also other lessons that I teach on italki, like biblical English, like RLS and RPS, which is like real life situations and role playing simulations, like practicing for a job interview, where I play the role of the interviewer, you play the role of the candidate, the job applicant, and any other situation you could find in everyday life in English, like being in a restaurant and ordering food and drinks, being in a railway station and buying a train ticket. You could be in a travel agency booking the holiday of a lifetime, dream holiday. You could be bringing back a product that you bought in a shop that has a defect, a fault, so it's not working well, and you want to bring it back to, or you want to return it to customer services. And I can play the customer services representative, you see, and try and find a satisfactory solution for you to either replace your product or refund you the money or have your product fixed, repaired. You see what I mean, Eugene? So these are all situations we can practice in everyday life. So that's always good. That's another type of lesson. Just so that you know that I have lots of different lessons, about 6 different lessons that I teach on italki, which you can find on my italki profile page. Is that all right, Chen? Is that good? Yes?
Okay, I see, and
Okay.
I think it's a very helpful. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting indeed.
Yeah, it's very good to
Hmm.
play the role. Yeah,
Yes.
in the English environment. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely, Chen. Eugene, so as this is the English joke humor lesson, and the idea here is each of us shares jokes. We tell jokes to each other, and so that's how we can improve our knowledge of jokes, of English joke humor. How familiar are you with English joke humor, Eugene? I mean, have you heard of the peculiarity of English humor? You know, it's very special, it's very particular. Um, have you heard about that, about English joke humor and what is special about it?
Jacuma.
English joke humor, because that's a subject that you've chosen for today's lesson, English joke humor. So, are you familiar? What do you know about English joke humor? Tell me what you know about it. What type of
Um,
jokes do you know? Which type of comedians do you know? Which are English comedians? I mean, have you heard of Mr. Bean?
I, I,
Mr.
I, I,
Mr.
yeah, I
Bean.
think that there are a lot of the difference
Uh-huh.
between the China and England in
Yes.
the
Mm-hmm.
in the television. Yeah,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Maybe someone um, uh, think the comedy is very humorous, but
Yes.
someone in China didn't laugh. Yeah, about that.
Right. Exactly. That is the big difference. And that you can understand some jokes in one language, but it's not always easy to understand in another language. That's exactly right. And you can learn a lot about a country and the people of the country through the jokes because it reflects the culture, the mentality, the education, and just the style of the people, like what they're interested in. Just through the jokes, you see, it can tell you a lot about the people of a country. So that's
Yeah.
good. That's great. And as I saw on your italki profile, you want to communicate with foreigners to improve your oral English and to make friends in order to learn more about civilization, which is great. That's really good.
Okay, I heard a story, a comedy, yes,
Hmm.
about in England.
Yes.
Maybe the stories is mm, a Englishman, uh,
Hmm.
uh, Scotland man,
Yeah,
and
Scottish. You don't say Scotland man, you say Scottish man.
Scottish.
Or to
Uh,
make it shorter, you just call the person a Scot. If you say that it's a Scot, it means
a,
a Scottish man. Like if you say a Brit, um, that means a British man. You see?
a Scotsman, and
Yes.
I thought except another country's man um,
Yes.
go go into a pub at the same time. Yeah, do you know the
I've heard
comedy?
I've heard lots of jokes like that, where you have an Englishman, a Scotsman, and either a Welshman or an Irishman, and they all go into the pub, and then. But there are so many jokes like that. That is the typical beginning of a joke. It's like when you're telling a story, you say "Once upon a time," you see, and that is the typical beginning of a story. Well, a typical beginning of a British joke would be there's an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman, or Englishman, Scotsman, and Welshman. And they all go into a pub and then blah, 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 blah. But there were lots of variations, lots of different versions of this joke. And so each of them are different. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but if you can continue, do you know the joke? Are you able to tell me the joke, Eugene? Can you tell
The
me the
joke.
joke? Do you know the joke? Are you familiar with it?
Uh, Let me think about the
Uh-huh.
comedy. I'm ready for the
You,
joke.
you don't remember the joke. Okay, that's all right. I'm just writing in the Skype chat here the different comedians like Mr. Bean and John Cleese. And then there's a group of comedians called Monty Python's Flying Circus, if you've ever heard of them. Have you heard of them at all? Monty Python's Flying Circus?
I don't know
No?
about that.
You've never heard of that. Okay.
Yes.
So that is a group of comedians. And then you also have the films from Monty Python, like The Meaning of Life and The Life of Brian and uh, Jab Waki and the Holy Grail. These are all the titles of films by Monty Python, so you can see what English joke humor is like, typical British humor. You also have, and now for something completely different. Okay. So that gives you, a few films that you can watch. So you'll learn more about Monty Python and British humor. So now to come to the different jokes, I'll see actually if I can find this. Um, so an Englishman, a Scotsman, an Irishman, and a Welshman. There we are. And these are typical jokes where you actually have the Englishman, the Scotsman, and the Irishman. And so there are lots of these different jokes. And so, right, so, right, here, this is going to be interesting. Let me just send you the link to this, okay?
Okay.
And then you can practice your reading and pronunciation as you read these jokes. So you'll be learning new jokes at the same time. So it's
Okay.
an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman joke. And so if you could open that up, okay, and
Okay.
just read for me then the first joke, please, Eugene. If you could read it out loud, and that way that'll give you practice with your English pronunciation.
Okay. But I log on the VPN. Yeah.
So that's right. You need to click on the link to open it up. Are you
Yeah.
able to open it up or not?
Yeah. It's okay. It's
You
okay.
are
I'm
able
English.
to open it up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Englishman,
Hmm.
Scotsman, and Irishman jokes.
That's right. Yes.
Whenever an Englishman, a Scotsman, and an
Hmm.
Irishman get together, there will either be a joke or
Hmm.
Donnybrook. So what's the meaning about
So the word Donnybrook. So it's a joke or a Donnybrook. So that's very interesting, actually, because that is something which is very specific jargon, very specific terminology. So I'll look that up just to see what it is, because obviously I don't know all of these expressions. So a Donnybrook is a scene of uproar and disorder, a heated argument, a raucous. Oh, right. So it's when you're having a great debate and people are having an uproar and a disorder, and that is called a Donnybrook. So it's like when they're having a heated argument between them. You see? That is a Donnybrook. So I've just sent you that in the Skype chat,
okay,
Eugene. So I'll let you
okay,
read the first joke then, please.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh, One afternoon, five American tourists in Ireland are taking in the sight when they see a sign that says, since the pub, or drinks 20 cents. In disbelief, they enter the pub, thinking that this is too good to be true. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is standing behind the bar and in a um, gregarious, gregarious voice says, "Welcome, uh, let's, let's, let me pour your drink." After a
Mm-hmm.
couple of rounds, at only 20 cents per drink, and their curiosity gets the best of them. Singh explained that he hit Irish lottery and quit his boring bookkeeping job to open the pub of his dreams. As the Americans lift their pins, they can't help noticing a group at the other end of the pub that hadn't yet ordered a drop.
Mm-hmm.
When I asked Singh, what's the reason? Singh replied, right, never mind, mind them, and that's Angus and his crew from Scotland, and they are just waiting for happy hour.
Mm-hmm. Right. Do you know what happy hour is, Eugene?
Happy hour.
Yes. What is happy hour?
Uh, Happy hour. Maybe. they get the lottery?
Well, obviously, if they win the lottery, then obviously they'll be very happy. I mean, it could easily be something like that. But in fact, happy hour is a time when in a pub, the drinks are like half price or two for the price of one, something like that. That is an example of happy hour, you see. And so it's when you have drinks which are less expensive than the usual price for the drinks. Do you see what I mean,
I see.
Eugene?
It's a meaning discount.
That's right, exactly. It's like a discount. That's exactly right. So, do you understand this joke, Eugene?
I maybe maybe I read again. Yeah,
Okay.
and look. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have a different dream, and someone want to make it true.
Sorry, could you repeat that again, please, Eugene? I didn't hear very well what you said.
Yeah, maybe they have a different dream. Yeah, so they want to make it the true.
Ah, you're saying that they have a different drink. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, um, well, the actual answer is not really that they're having a different drink, but there's a group of them um, who are waiting for happy hour when the drinks are discounted, you see. And so uh, that means to say they're Scottish. And the joke is actually about the Scottish because, as I said, jokes can tell you a lot about people, their culture, their mentality, their education, their way of thinking, and what they are like and the way they think and their habits, attitudes, characters, and personalities. Because the Scottish have a reputation of being very stingy. That means to say, they're very mean with their money. They don't like to spend money. They like to save their money. And so, if they are waiting for happy hour, that is to say, when drinks are half price, that means to say for them, even 20 cents a drink is too expensive. They want their drinks to only cost 10 cents a drink or two drinks for 20 cents instead of one drink when it's happy hour. So that's why they are waiting for those cheaper, less expensive drinks. And it's funny because, I mean, when drinks are so inexpensive, like they only cost a few cents, I mean, wanting to have an extra discount on that, I mean, that is typically Scottish. And that's what's funny about it because that's shows just how mean and stingy and penny pinching the Scottish are. That even just for a few cents less, they want to wait until it's just the hour when it's a few cents less, when it's already so cheap, so inexpensive that normally nobody would want to bother waiting for happy hour because it's already much less expensive than even the happy hours of all the other pubs. Do you understand that, Eugene?
Okay. This man who come from the country need to get a cheaper drink.
That's right. He wants a cheaper drink because he's Scottish, and the Scottish want the lowest price possible, even when the price is already rock bottom, lower than you ever found it anywhere else in the world. He still wants to have a few cents less. He still wants to be half price. So it just shows how um, the Scottish are mean with their money, how they want to save every single cent, and if they can have an extra little saving, they will do that. They will wait until it's the hour where the drinks are less expensive. You understand that, Eugene, the joke?
Yeah, maybe the British, the um, um, war generals.
Yes, much more generous. The Scottish are usually not very generous with their money. So you see, you've learned something about the Scottish, that they are not generous with their money. That's good. Excellent. Well, as we've come to the end of the time of our lesson for today, Eugene, how did you find the lesson? Was it helpful, useful, interesting for you? Did you learn something new?
I I reading some stories and
Yes.
about English civilizations.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I and maybe some friends told me about this joke. Yeah, but
Ah.
yeah.
So you like the joke, you enjoy it, you find it interesting.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, I'm very pleased for you, Eugene. Well, if you'd like us to have some more lessons together, then it would be with the greatest of pleasure. You're ever so welcome. And I'd very much look forward to that, Eugene. That would be great. Wonderful.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for helping me. Yeah.
With pleasure. And thank you very much for the lesson as well. And I hope to speak with you again soon in another lesson next time. That'll be great.
Of course. I will book next lesson. Yeah,
That's
with
great.
your.
Hmm. That's wonderful. Thanks ever so much, Eugene. Take care. Keep well. All the best. And look forward to speaking with you again next time. I look forward to that.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks. Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye.